Hey guys, it's Garrus. I've been thinking recently and kind of separating myself from the trans community online because of multiple instances of better than thou attitude, or I know more than you do attitude, or, things like that. I've noticed a lot of the time in the online community, for specifically the trans community online, you get a lot of, well, you're not transitioning in this way, so you're not trans. Or, I don't agree with you, so you're wrong. Yeah, that happens in other communities, but it's really fucking hard to hear when you've got... Let me explain a story. There was a girl in... an MTF girl in a group I was in on Facebook that was saying how she felt jealous because one of her friends was pregnant, and she said she'd never be able to do that. My wife knows somebody who has gotten a full female reproductive organ transplant along with whatever the surgery is called to create the vagina, and she can get pregnant. It works. It's somebody else's eggs. It'll take about 10 years for them to be her own eggs. It takes... They're assuming, because it's a pretty new procedure, but it does take, or it can take, and I've heard of a lot of other cases where MTF women have had this surgery, and it has taken. Mind you, it's not... I actually don't think it's allowed to be practiced in America yet, because it is still an experimental procedure. I mean, there might be people now that do it, because I heard about this a couple years ago, and I've seen them since, but I've always seen it happening in other countries. Like, people going to the other countries to get the surgeries, not like it only ever happens, like you have to live in India for it to happen or whatever. But I was barraged with, from other trans women, not the woman who originally posted it, but that I was lying, and all men are liars, and I need to show irrefutable proof, because otherwise I'm lying, and mind you, I don't have permission to be giving out the specific woman, the one my wife knows, her medical information. I do not have that right, and therefore I do not have that sort of proof for you. And I simply kept saying, look it up for yourself, I'm sure you can find it if you look hard enough. And I got met with, well, then you're clearly lying, because if you can't show me proof right now, it means you're full of shit. And I got like 5-10 women attacking, or like actually 5 or 6, something like that, attacking me on this woman's thread, because I wasn't able to go, here's 100% proof, here's every single doctor in the world that does it, yada 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 yada. And that was also met with, later on, being told by these same women that all trans men are just rubbing it in our... you're rubbing it in our faces that you have a vagina and we don't. And which my response was, fine, if you're going to go that route, I have a child that I grew in my body. And then I left the thread. But my point is that in that case, in that specific instance, the mass majority of trans women I have met online are horrible, vindictive bitches. As if they're expected to be that way because they want to associate as female. Newsflash, nobody likes a cunt. That being said, I have met some wonderful, wonderful trans women. All 3 Jessicas that I know that are trans are wonderful people. There's a few on my Facebook that I haven't met in person, but I've gotten to talk to a lot, and they're also wonderful people. There's a couple I've met in my past that honestly I would not ever want to be down a dark alley with, because I'm not sure if they would make it out afterwards. But I'll leave that for not ever being explained, because I really don't want that drama coming back. But yeah, and other situations I've been in where I've been told, since I had to stop testosterone at all, mind you, I had to for monetary reasons, that it means I'm not really a trans man. That means that I'm not really a man, and I'm just doing this because it's a fad. Or, oh, you had a child. You didn't get an abortion after you found out you were pregnant, which means you're not a man. It means you're a woman because you had a baby. Let me tell you why that's bullshit. I know many, 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 many trans men, even if just loosely, through Facebook groups and through other groups, that they all gave birth to their children. Or they are doing a cloning system, the whole being able to make an egg out of two women, or, whatever. There are men out there, trans men, that have had kids biologically, or have, by scientific means, created a child that has their genetic code without giving birth themselves. It is possible to still be a trans man and have a child. It is still possible to be a man and have a child. That doesn't make you any less trans. That doesn't make me any less trans than Buck Angel. Okay? Seriously, I don't even know if Buck Angel has kids. Either way, my point is, what I do with my body does not mean you get to decide if I am trans or not. I have gone through my own struggles. I have gone through my own battles. I have come out on top, for the most part. You do not get to decide what my personal journey is. You do not get to decide what steps I must take in order to be happy with myself. I haven't had top surgery. I haven't had bottom surgery. I had to be off of testosterone for I had to be off for about 9 months because of the pregnancy, and then I was off for another 9 after that because I couldn't afford it and was working with Medi-Cal to get it covered. I'm back on testosterone now. So, I've been through my battles. I have my ID changed. Legally, my ID, my social security card, I'm working on the birth certificate part. All I really need is to find the specific court form that they need, because they don't give it back, so it needs a special stamp on the back. I have 2 copies. So I need to get the birth certificate thing done. That is my personal journey. That is the steps, or those are the steps I am taking to transition. Just because I didn't do it your way does not mean that you get to tell me I'm not trans. It doesn't mean that you get to tell me I'm doing it wrong. It means I am doing it my way. That's it. Another example is I get a lot of flack for my wife. My wife is physically male, the genetic father of our child, I'm the genetic mother of our child. He's 11 months. He's actually going to be 12 months in like 2.5 weeks, something like that. So I get a lot of shit because she associates mentally as Herm. Physically, because of the way surgeries go, you can't exactly make a vagina without losing the penis. I'm pretty sure she's just going to be physically she-male. I get a lot of shit saying just horrible things. I've actually seen it not directed towards her or and I only, but in general. She started using the term she-male for a while, and I was yelled at saying that that's a porn term, and you're not allowed to use that term because that's belittling her. And my thoughts are, who the fuck are you to tell me what my wife is allowed to call herself? She can call herself purple for all I care, and if that's what she wants to do, that's what she wants to do. I have been told that by trans people that we have a horrible family dynamic and our child's going to be taken from us because we're not doing things the way they want us to, the way they think it needs to be done. I say fuck off to that, because I will raise my son the right way, no matter what the hell is in my pants, no matter what the hell is in my wife's pants, and no matter what the fuck you say. If you have good advice, cool, yeah, I'll consider it. But if you're telling me I'm doing it wrong because your way is the only way, go find the fucking proverbial door, because I will kick your ass out of it if I have to. I do not take people treating me and my wife like shit, or my wife and I don't deal with that. She doesn't deal with that. My son sure as hell isn't gonna deal with that. You treat me like shit, expect retaliation. Expect a big old pile of drama in your lap if you dare try to push me to do things your way. There's a big difference between I personally think it should be this way and no, you're wrong, you need to do it my way. So, that being said, I'm probably going to upload a video of a lighter nature here in a little bit, because I think that's all I talk about is serious shit. But yeah, long story short, be who you want to be, transition how you want to transition, fuck what anybody else says, unless there is the procedure. You have to do certain steps most of the time. Excuse me. But yeah, you usually have to do certain steps in order to get your health insurance to cover your surgeries and your hormones, at least the surgeries, because that's pretty serious. That's pretty invasive. Well, for top surgery, it's not considered really invasive, but for bottom surgery, if you're getting genital reconstruction, it is. So a lot of the times they need specific procedures to make sure you're not going to go, oh shit, I was wrong. It's your fault that I transitioned. It's your fault I'm unhappy. I'm going to sue you now. So, within reason, do what you want. Within reason, be whoever the hell you want to be. I say within reason because there's always going to be an exception. There's going to be that one person that you want to be careful around, for whether it's for legal purposes or for your own personal purposes, like if you don't want to push a family member away, you know, whatever. Be yourself. Do what you want to do. Transition how you want to transition. Fuck what anybody else says, unless it's specific that it has to literally be done that way for whatever actual reason. Don't let other people in the trans community tell you you're wrong because you need to do it their way. Don't let other people tell you you're not trans because you're not doing it their way. Tell them to find the door. Tell them to turn their asses around and walk the fuck away. Because nobody should be able to tell you what to do but you. If you're a trans woman and you just don't feel like shaving today, and I know some trans women who get like big fucking boom beard in like 2 days. One of them went out in public like she usually does, wearing what she always does, and she got a lot of shit. She went, that's not your decision. I'm a woman, so what if I have a beard? I think her line was actually, well, Romanian women grow beards, so what's your point? Either way, you know, her point was, you don't get to decide what I look like on a day-to-day basis. You don't get to decide how I transition. You don't get to decide how I see myself. And I agree with that a lot. Sometimes I will throw on some makeup or some more feminine clothing because you know what? It's clothing. It's makeup. Big fucking deal. You know, it doesn't say on the back of an eyeliner for women's use only. It says it's eyeliner, okay? You know, you don't go into the women's section. There's not a for women only on a dress in the women's section. It just happens to be in the women's section because it's a dress, and that's how society dictates it. Oh no, we're going down the society as a horrible people path. Either way, if you want to be a guy and you want to wear Miley Cyrus jeans, go fucking do it. Who fucking cares? Alright, now I need to get off here because I got some stuff to do. So, I'll record something later, a little more lighthearted. I know barely anybody watches my channel. If anybody fucking watches my channel. I don't care. So, yeah.